Ward Kovalev, to low blow or to not low blow? Where's the belt line? Hey, what's up? First thing I like to say is thanks for hitting the link and watching this video. It took time and effort to make this. Really do appreciate that. Also, if you don't mind, can you hit that like and subscribe? Hitting the like don't hurt none. You can hit it right before you see the video. Don't worry, you will be satisfied. Also, we're trying to get some new things going on in this channel, and to do that, I need new equipment. And to do that, it would really help if you could give some kind of donation. If you can't, it's cool. It is what it is. We still appreciate your presence here. If you can, that would be very nice, and link is in the description. Anyway, right now, let's get to our regularly scheduled program. Hey, yo, I appreciate it if you could hit that like button right about now. What's up, BBN Network? Jack Frost speaking. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to apologize for not doing more boxing videos. I am actually a pretty big boxing fan. I haven't been doing boxing videos because I've been preoccupied with regular everyday life, and I'm just getting out the videos that I could get out currently. But I'm going back to boxing. I'm also going to go back to just dissecting fighters and also dissecting in particular matches also. But as far as dissecting the matches, I'm probably going to go to past matches because those are the easiest ones to get footage of. Anyway, let's get on with this Ward Kovalev. I got first thing I want to mention about this is it should not have been stopped when they got stopped. I know what the ref saw. I see what the ref saw. What the ref saw was Kovalev was taking a lot of damage to the body, and he wasn't able to protect himself to the body, and then that's why he got stopped. But I do think that Tony Weeks, that's the ref, stopped it early. I think that if anything, it should have just been a knockdown. If anything, you know, he should have gave him a knockdown. I don't think he should have just stopped it. He should have gave him a knockdown and then seen how much further he could go. But in that round, if you really pay attention to it, after Ward complained about, after Kovalev complained about the first low blow, he was never the same fighter, and that was not a low blow. Well, the second low blow, and that was not a low blow. The second one that he complained about, where Ward just backed off of him, that was not a low blow. It was on the belt line. Both of those shots were good. Now, just the fight. Kovalev and Ward, I don't know who they fight next. I mean, yeah, there's other good light middleweights out there, but not of these two gentlemen's caliber. If you watch the first 3 rounds, you'll just see they're jousting. It took 3. They were feeling each other out in the first 3 rounds and still putting on a competitive fight, an interesting fight. And so basically, Kovalev's main weapon, and this is another reason why the ref probably stopped it, and the main weapon in the beginning of the fight was his jab. His jab was controlling Ward to a degree in the beginning of the fight. It was preventing Ward from closing distance. It was also moving Ward to spots in the ring where Kovalev can then strike. He was controlling the fight. Anyone that had Kovalev up at the time of the stoppage, I can't even say anything different. I mean, I had the fight so close that if anybody had it Kovalev up, I had it even. But if anybody had Kovalev up, I can see why you had it Kovalev up. Sergey just fought a really, really good fight. It's just that Ward went to the body and Kovalev couldn't really his defense to the body. See, this is the problem with Ward. Kovalev faces when he goes against Ward. Ward is so much shorter than him that Ward could sneak down and get under, and basically he just waited for Kovalev to throw that jab enough times for him to see that jab enough times in order for his reaction time to kick in. And once his reaction time kicked into that jab, then he was able to go over the top a couple of times. He was able to go under the jab a couple of times, you know, duck under the jab and close distance. And that's how he caught him to the body a few times, because he ducked under the jab and closed distance. For people that, well, I'm pretty sure the only people watching this is actual boxing fans. But just in case we have somebody in here who isn't a boxing fan, who's a novice to boxing, but they do like seeing boxing here and there, but they don't really know that much. When you have the reach advantage on somebody, and on top of that, you have a really good jab. Kovalev has one of the best jabs in boxing. This is facts. And I'm not just saying one of the best jabs because he throws a hard jab. I'm saying one of the best jabs because of his reach. He's able to control the fight with the jab. He's able to do exactly what I just said a couple of minutes ago, a couple of seconds ago. He's able to direct where he want his opponent to go in order to line him up with his left hand, so he could come over the top with the left, or so he could go where he doesn't really go to the body that much, but so that he could line him up with the left hand with the hook or the over the top straight or the straight or whatever he want to do. Really, really, really good jab. What Ward did was especially early, Ward was just timing his jab. And upon timing his jab, when he got the jab down, he got his reflexes in line with the jab, then Ward started striking a little bit more, I'd say, in the latter parts of the second round and in the latter parts of the third round. And then from the fourth round and on, Ward was able to counter the jab, not necessarily with throwing punches, but counter the technique of the jab with his footwork, getting him in position in order for him to attack. Now, that's another reason why I believe that Ward went to the body, because when somebody has a really good jab, one of the best things that you could do, if you can't go over the top, which is more difficult if the other person has a really big reach advantage over you, you want to throw the jab at the same time. You want to go over the top. If you can't go over the top, what you want to do is you want to sneak in under the jab. You want to change your level. The changing your level is basically bending at the knees or the hips, but it's best to bend at the knees. When you bend at the knees and the hips, you really change your level, and you could then close distance if you could make that step. And that's how he was getting him to the body and ripping him to the body. And that's what was causing Kovalev so many problems, because after he ripped Kovalev to the body, but so many times, your body is soft. For the people in here that, the real big tough guys who go to the gym, do all of that working out, and then they have the really big stomachs, I'm going to explain something to you. Your core is where you're fighting from. Your core allows for you to generate power. You understand? So you could be real strong in the arms, could lift a lot of big heavy stuff, and also punch hard because, you got big strong arms and maybe a big strong back and maybe a big strong broad chest. But your core is where you generate your power from. So the tighter your core is and the better your core is, the more power you could generate. So when you're fighting against somebody who's consistently going to the body on you, that's kind of like zapping your power. He's like zapping your power. So Ward is busy going to the body the whole entire match for the most part. So that's zapping his power. And Kovalev, a guy who doesn't usually go 12 rounds, Kovalev, he gets a lot of knockouts. So he doesn't make it 12 rounds. Ward goes 12 rounds. So he's just used to going 12 rounds. And when you're a fighter that goes 12 rounds, you go to your opponent body a lot because you understand you have to wear them down. You have to zap their power. So imagine you being a big, strong guy who your main defense and offense is your ability to generate power and keep people off of you, and you're fighting against somebody who is slipping your punches and zapping your power. By the 5th, 6th, 7th round, you're not throwing at the same velocity that you were throwing in the first round. And then not only does that, not only can your opponent tell that you're not hitting as hard, but you can tell that you're not throwing as hard. So that creates other issues and other problems and other dilemmas, and it makes you have to change your game plan, because now you can't think about you're going to hit him with that one shot that's going to take him out the game. Besides that, Ward has a pretty good chin, and I've seen him take some shots and be able to walk through them. And if you add to that his elusiveness and his ability to actually just slip punches, then you have a real big problem when you have a big guy like Kovalev, and power is his main weapon, power in his jab, and you're sapping his power. When you sap his power, then it's just you're just making him into half of the fighter. So I think that's something that the ref actually saw, that it was not going to get any better for Kovalev. He was just in there to get injured. Also, at the end of this fight, when they did the interview, Kovalev wasn't the same way that he was at the end of the other fight when he was indignant, when he was like, oh, well, they stole this. This fight, they actually stole from him. The other fight, it could have went either way. It went to the cards. It could have went either way. This fight was actually stopped early, in my belief. So if either of the fights he was going to complain and talk about getting something stolen from him, it should have been this fight. But, boy that cries wolf, you can't do it twice. So it was actually a pretty good fight. It was a really, really good fight. But I believe that if they would have ended up going 12, I don't think it would have went 12 rounds. I don't think that Kovalev could go 12 rounds again with Andre Ward. If with Andre Ward knowing what he knows about Kovalev, he's going to keep going to that body. Kovalev is just not going to be able to sustain it. With that being said, I don't see any other fighter that can go up against these guys at their weight division and it be as good of as good as a fight. These guys are just at the top right now, and at the end, Ward was talking about moving up to heavyweight. I don't think he should do that. I think he should just stay where he's at and just be king. I think he should just be king. And even though Kovalev lost both of the first 2 fights, I'm 100% sure people would pay for a 3. This was a pretty good fight. I mean, it was a pretty good fight. See, there's a difference when you have a really good fighter in there with a fighter who is either up and coming or on the way down or just not really that good in general. You're gonna have the guy who has who experience isn't as much as the other guy, making all types of foolish and stupid errors. They didn't make any foolish or stupid errors in this fight. There wasn't any foolish or stupid errors. It was just a chess match with boxing gloves. It was a chess match played with freaking cannons. They both fought a good fight. I have no complaints about the fight that either which one of them fought. It's just that Ward goes to the body. Kovalev don't. Now, was some of those shots low? I saw about 2 of those shots. I'm keeping it a buck with you. I saw 2 of the shots that I thought was absolutely low. Without a shadow of a doubt, I thought 2 of those shots was low. And I think when I'm saying I thought was low, I mean I thought was low to the point that he should have got a 5-minute break. Because, you could give the guy up to 5 minutes to recover. The ref. I saw 2 of the shots. I thought he should have at least got 5 minutes to recover. It was just that low. It was that low. But Andre Ward pulled it off. I think he got the stoppage in the 8th. And it was a good fight. And if you haven't seen the fight, when you get an opportunity, see the fight. It was a good fight. It was just a good fight. I really want the Canelo GGG fight to live up to this, because I think it might be a lot more action, because GGG is not as technically, well, he's a really, really good technically sound fighter, but but his style of fighting is like more like the Mexican style, they like to call it, when you just come forward and you just go at your opponent and you throw punches and he throw punches, and that's what it is. And Canelo doesn't necessarily fight the Mexican style fighting. He fights he's more of a counter puncher. He's gonna slip punches. He's gonna use his footwork to get you out of position. He's gonna make you play yourself. He's gonna set traps. That's what he does. Canelo sets traps. He uses his footwork to get you out of position, and he attacks. He waits for you to overextend yourself and leave openings. It looked like Ward was trying to do that, and Kovalev, being just a really, really savvy boxer in his own regard, was not he wasn't falling into any of the traps that Ward was setting in the first 2 to 3 rounds, because he was staying out of the traps by using his jab. So there's that. Anyway, that's my take on this particular fight. I want to know what y'all think about that. Why don't y'all leave the comments down below? Anybody that's seen the fight, tell me what y'all think. I wanted Andre Ward to win, but I like Sergey Kovalev also. I'm not one of those guys where I like one guy and then I'm like talking trash about the other guy. I sometimes like both guys in the fight. It happens. When Garcia fought Thurman, I like both guys in the fight. When Sean Porter fought when Sean Porter fought Thurman, I like both guys in the fight. When Kell Brook fought Errol Spence, I like both guys in the fight. Sometimes I just like both guys in the fight. You understand? Like, I'm a fan of different styles, and I'm a fan of different type of fighters. And just because I like one guy a little bit more than the other, or just because I like one guy's style a little bit more than the other, that doesn't mean that when they fight each other, I'm going to bash the one that I like a little bit less. That's retarded. But I'm going to try to always keep it a buck with you. I'm going to always try to explain what I think that I see. And I'm going to always be as honest as possible in any regard with anything that I do on this channel, period. And especially when it comes to sports, and more especially when it comes to boxing, because I like it. Anyway, Leave the comments down below. I want to know what y'all guys think about this. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. If you haven't hit that notification button yet, please hit that notification button. And share. That's all I got for you. And I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.